I got a PhD and then I became a researcher. Then I didn't like being a researcher, so I went into industry. I was an explosives chemist. Then after that, I decided, well, I don't like explosives chemist stuff. I don't like industry. I'll go back to teaching. That's what I like. I'll go back to trying to teach as much as I can in a university. Then I didn't like the university system. So then I was like, okay, I'll go out and do my own. So I become a science writer. I worked for Cosmos, Science Alert, and Australia Science Channel. And then I was like, you know what? No one's paying any money for this content. No one's interested. So I'll start my own business. So I started my own business. And then I was like, you know what? No one really likes this business. And I actually, do I like this? I like starting businesses. So I'll start my own business. And then I ended up on YouTube, and then I ended up creating content on websites and growing little micro businesses. And I have now ended up in a place that I absolutely love. So here's everything that I've learned in that process and the things that people didn't tell me about a career. The first one is that there are two massive questions that you should really think hard about and answer honestly. And it's the honest answer, free of society's expectations of you, that actually really matter in the response to these questions. And it's so hard to separate yourself from society's expectation of you. Now, if you feel like at any moment your brain is saying, well, you should, that word should is conditioning. That word should is the thing that is holding you back from doing something you really like. So the first question is, what would you do if you couldn't fail? Like, if failure wasn't an option in this universe for you to do this thing, what would you do? And for me, that was help people. That was speak to people. That was kind of like part trainer, part public speaking. And that kind of like came together in today's technological world on YouTube and producing blog articles for my businesses and all of that sort of stuff. So that's what I was doing. That's what I would love to do if I couldn't fail, whatever failure means in that instance, which, for a lot of us means just not earn very much money. So yeah, for a lot of people, that failure means like not earning any money doing what you love. But if that wasn't a thing, then do this. And the second question relates to that money, which is, what would you do if money wasn't an issue? And one thing I found is that I was producing content like on my own, without interest of monetizing it, without any interest of just, trying to turn it into a business or whatever. And that's what really kind of sparked me on this journey was, I'm producing content for other people for not very much money, but I could produce content that I like, that I think is valuable, and I could grow something from that. And I didn't do it for money, but now money's starting to sort of like trickle in, and I love it. And that has kind of led across to public speaking, and all of that stuff has combined. And I was doing all these things for free beforehand, and now I've kind of perfected my skills. I've learned a little bit more. I'm forever learning. And those two questions I think are so important if you really want to understand what you should be doing. Life is far too short to be doing something you don't like. The internet enables you to share what you love with people. And once you've built that audience, once you've sort of shown that you're able to teach people or show people, or share your passion about something, I guarantee you there's an audience out there willing to interact with you about that thing. The second thing that no one told me about a career is to really focus on what you are uniquely positioned to do. Now, each of us has our strengths, our weaknesses, and we can use our strengths to find opportunities to earn money or to enjoy. You typically really enjoy the things that you are good at, and you are good at them because for you it's fun. But for other people, that thing may feel like a chore. And so what you've got to do is find out what is that unique thing that feels fun for you, that feels like a chore for other people. That is your strength. And that is something that you should build on, and something that you should try to find opportunities to use, because that will set you apart from the rest. Now, in the science world, when I was doing my PhD, I had very good personal and public communication skills. Like I was able to get up, give a great talk, and sit down, no matter if it was the shortest talk I gave was 30 seconds when I was pitching my business at Pitch at Palace. And that was 30 seconds all the way up to like 20 minutes, half an hour, 45 minutes. I really enjoyed trying to distill a story down into that kind of moment. And then that storytelling kind of went across to science communication, which then went to science writing. So those were my strengths. That was what I felt like I was really good at. And I was looking for opportunities to use those strengths. So if people were like, hey, we need a talker, I put my hand up, and I slowly built up a reputation of being a good presenter. And that's why I've done, talks and invited talks for Wiley. I went to their leaders seminar, their executive seminar. They flew me to Melbourne to talk. I've done a TEDx talk. And that was really nerve-wracking, actually, for some reason. Like the power of TEDx kind of like freaked me out a little bit, I think. But yeah, looking for opportunities to talk is really awesome. And then when I was pitching my businesses, if there was a pitching competition, I was there because I knew I could communicate effectively and powerfully. And that spilled across to other things. So when I was pitching my business, I won $40,000 because I was able to get up and communicate the kind of important aspects of my business and excite a crowd about, yes, this is the future, this is the thing. And so looking for opportunities to get your strengths into a field or a career or something you love doing, like that is so important. So, for you, it may be that you are more introverted, but you're a great problem solver, or you really like tackling little problems, or, maybe you're a great writer and a great sort of introverted thinker. And all of those skills have a place, but it's about working with your strengths. And too many people try to pump up their weaknesses. It's important to balance them out to some respect, but really it's your strengths which make you stand out above the crowd. And that is something about careers that people don't tell you is, look for opportunities to really express your strengths, and it will just have a snowball effect from there. And your unique positioning with your skills and what you like doing will set you out, no doubt. The third thing that I think no one told me about a career is that job market skills move faster than your formal education does. So it just means that in school, you learn like the basics, like that sets a fantastic foundation for life in general, because it tells you how to read, write, and really beyond that, it is up to you to build skills that are suitable for a job and a job market that you are entering. School no longer, I don't think, provides you the ability to enter a job market. You have to be a lifelong learner. And that's one thing I've learned is throughout this whole process, I went to the highest ends of formal education. I got a PhD in chemistry, but that wasn't enough. And it wasn't that it wasn't enough. It was that the job market had moved on to such a point that, the formal education of chemistry was great, but I needed to learn like marketing skills. I needed to learn how to write, technical writing skills, and all of that sort of stuff I needed to go out and find on my own. And, Skillshare and Udemy and Udacity, like all of these places are so great. They're great places to build your skills outside of your formal education. And once again, if you sort of like weave that in with your strengths, I think that can be a fantastic opportunity to stand out in the job market, to stand out in your career and move onwards and upwards, not only in a job that you love, but a job then that will reward you for doing the thing you like. Always learning, like being a lifelong learner is the one thing that separates out people that kind of get stuck in their career versus ones that need to go to that next step. And always learn skills that you like, because there's no point learning a skill that you don't like and then being known for that skill and then having to do it day in, day out. Build things. I've done so many courses. I've done coding, I've done public speaking, I've done sales copywriting, I've done a basic kind of accounting thing. I've done so many of these short courses outside. I learned to sew. I did a radio announcing course to help my public speaking skills. Like all of that just kind of worked together to where I am now, which, is a career that I am absolutely loving. The fourth thing that no one tells you about a career is that you should be moving up or out. Like, we are beyond the days of loyalty. If you died a month later, your job would replace you. So we're beyond that kind of boomer understanding of what a job is. Like, we are just a kind of cog in a machine, which is absolutely fine. You've got to find which cog you're happy being, but then you've got to look for ways to progress, and not progress necessarily in terms of money, but I think keep your skills fresh and look for new opportunities, build your network. And if you can't move up within your current organization or your current job, you should move out. And every year, I think you should be looking for that, or every couple of years. Can you move up? Speak to your boss. I want to take on more responsibility and I want more money, as part of that conversation. And if they say no, look outside of that company for that opportunity. And I reckon within like 10 years, you would move way further than hoping that your loyalty will be kind of recognized within one job or one career space, one employer. So just keep on looking. If you can't go up in your company, out and up. Look for those opportunities. And I've got a friend of mine who's done that. And, she always says she's amazed that each time she moves, her responsibility goes down, but she focuses on what she actually likes and her money goes up. And she's done that for the last 4 years, and it's just incredible. So it does work, and you've just got to remember that, loyalty to an extent can keep you stuck in a job that you don't like and that won't reward you for being loyal. So up or out. And the fifth thing about a career that no one tells you is that you should keep on searching until you find that thing you love. We all have this sunk cost fallacy where we've formally educated ourselves in a certain way. For me, it was science, it was PhD chemistry. So I felt like I was locked. I had all of these years, I had a whole lifetime of education behind me that was leading up to that point. And it really hurt to make the decision that actually, this isn't for me. And I left. And I went into industry, and I came back to academia, and I tried to get into teaching, at a university, and that didn't work. And then I was like, right, I'm going out on my own. I'm going to become a science communicator. Then I realized that no one was paying for science communicators. It wasn't really a job unless you liked writing, long books, or you got your name in writing, which is absolutely fine. But writing wasn't my skill set. It was presenting, it was talking, communication, interpersonal skills. That's where I really kind of had my strengths. And then I was like, well, what do I do? Well, I want to start a business around science communication. So I started Verbalize.science. And then I was like, after COVID hit, that kind of took some of the momentum out of that business. So then I started other businesses, and I liked creating content. So, you got to keep searching is the sort of the too long didn't read version of that kind of monologue, is that keep on looking. Do not sort of fall into the trap of this sunk cost thing where you say, well, I've been training for so many times, I at least need to sort of stay here. No. Life is too short to stay in something you don't like. And if you can't see yourself doing what you're doing right now for another 10 or 20 years, then it's time to look for something else. Don't fall into the trap of thinking that you're stuck. And also, I think people have a tendency to be fearful of starting again, going back to the bottom of the rung. And so, I went from PhD land where I was the postdoc and I was kind of in charge of a number of different project outcomes and supervising students. I went back then to interning at Cosmos magazine. I was sat with the other interns who were so much younger than me, but that led me on a projection on science communication and communication in general and digital content creation. And that's where I've ended up. So keep on searching until you find that thing that you love. And unfortunately, for a lot of people, they just get trapped. So don't get trapped. Keep on searching if you're not happy. Life's too short, like I said. So there are the 5 things that no one told me about a career. Let me know in the comments what you would add to that list. And also, this video is brought to you by my newsletter. So go check it out at andrewstapleton.com.au /newsletter. I'll put a link in the description, but essentially you'll get access to like exclusive content, what I'm reading, what I'm thinking about, any tips, tricks, hacks that I've come across, and also invite only kind of talks that I'll be doing and live streams that I'll be doing on YouTube. So that is where you can get access to those. I also did a giveaway where I gave away some headphones, so I'll be doing those occasionally as well to say thank you for supporting the channel. All right then, so let me know in the comments what you think, and I'll see you in the next video.